Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video is about 4 retrograde planets turning to direct in October 2021. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter and Mercury. And in general, this means that things that have been held back will start to move forward again. Whereas during the retrograde period, we might have had quite a lot of flashback and dreams where things from our past come to the surface. But now we'll be more out in the world once the direct motion takes over. And there'll have been a lot of consolidation and stripping down to basics. Let's look at each of the 4 for a bit more detail. So Pluto turns direct on October the 6th, and that's at 0 degrees Vedic Capricorn. And this is really big. To a certain level, we might have been feeling disempowered during the Pluto retrograde period. But now we can take needed steps to own our own power, to come into our proper power, and to shed shackles that may have been placed on our rightful and needed power, for example in childhood or earlier in life. Pluto turns direct on October the 6th, a very important turning point. Saturn turns direct on October the 10th, and Saturn turns direct at 12 degrees Vedic Capricorn. And this too is very big. Things might have been on agonized hold during the Saturn retrograde period, but they'll now start to be freed and to come into manifestation. Blocks in our life and in our societies that we live in that seemed so impossible to smash or cope with can now be more open to the revolution being offered all this year from Uranus, as Uranus is transiting square Saturn. Uranus is the planet of revolution. Negatively experienced, Saturn is our blocks and prison walls. And Uranus is in square transit to Saturn and moving to its 3rd exact on the 21st of December. The divine purpose of the Saturn retrograde period, by the way, is to move us so that we adhere more properly to the correct foundations in our life. And so in the run-up to October the 10th, try and give some thought. What are the key foundations to your life? Strip away things that might harm those so that you can pursue strategies forward in time that are properly founded on your strong foundations. Jupiter turns direct on October the 18th, and Jupiter turns direct at 28 degrees Vedic Capricorn. Jupiter first entered Capricorn on the 30th of March 2020. And he actually went ahead and left Capricorn to enter the next sign Aquarius on the 6th of April 2021. But Jupiter then re-entered Capricorn on the 14th of September this year due to retrograde. But Jupiter will station and turn direct in Capricorn on the 18th of October, and in fact re-enter the sign of Vedic Aquarius on the 20th of November. And looking ahead, Jupiter will enter Pisces on the 13th of April next year, 2022. Now it's very important to note that all the time Jupiter is in Capricorn, his powers and blessings are weakened. Or rather, it is our reception of them that is weakened, and that is because Jupiter is in very low dignity in Capricorn, where Saturn is super strong. And Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn. So my point is, we need to be aware of this. And we need to monitor from time to time, what is our connection to sense of purpose? What is our connection to blessing? What is our connection to the divine? And at this time of weak Jupiter, try and make a conscious effort to boost up your connection. This can be done by vision work, for example, standing in front of a picture of a representation of, for example, the divine dimension of the planet Jupiter, Brihaspati, and speaking from the heart about how your connection to him is faring, lighting a candle in front of the picture every day. Many, many different approaches. But it's very important to do them, because really until next April, our reception of Jupiter's divine energy, blessing and sense of purpose is weakened, but it is getting stronger from October the 18th, when Jupiter turns direct motion in the heavens. Now the fourth planet to turn direct in October 2021 is Mercury. Mercury turns direct on October the 18th, same as Jupiter. And this is at 16 degrees Vedic Virgo. Mercury actually turned retrograde on the 28th of September, and that was at 1 degree Libra. But Mercury continues in retrograde and stations at 16 Virgo on October the 18th. And the point also to notice is that it's not just the retrograde period where we experience the effect of Mercury retrograde. It's also during what are called the shadow phases. So the Mercury retrograde effect was actually palpable from when Mercury first entered the shadow of this present retrograde, and that was on the 7th of September. And note that Mercury won't finally be out of the shadow of this retrograde, out of the degree zone of the retrograde, until the 3rd of November. And so obviously watch out for, computer issues, posts, how we're communicating, writing and speaking, relating, how our conceptual development and management is faring. Couple of special notes. Mercury is square Pluto on October the 1st, so obviously that's in orb a week either side. Mercury square Pluto, power issues, shady business, cyber hacking, or will it be depth psychological insights, or both? And note that Mercury is conjunct Mars on October the 9th, and obviously in orb, easily a week either side. Watch out for aggression, frustration, impatience in speech, violent speech. We all have to be very careful to manifest only the positive meanings of Mercury during this time. And having said that, I'd just like to alert you to the fact, I'm filming this on October the 1st, that Mercury is close to some very powerful and wonderful star energies in the days immediately before and after October the 1st. Arcturus and Spica, S-P-I-C-A. And the whole point is, the ancients were so attuned to star energies, and it is the star energies that lie behind the massive truth of the 27 nakshatras, the 27 lunar signs of Vedic astrology that so accurately declare our identity, our emotionally based consciousness, negatively and positively, warts and all. And so when Mercury is conjunct Arcturus and Speaker, be open to the star energies that will be channeled through for a few days. I felt them already. So Arcturus positively gives riches, honours, high renown, determination, prosperity, navigation on voyages. But negatively, Arcturus is also belligerent and quarrelsome, but enterprising. Speaker is at naught Vedic Libra. It is the hinge star, the anchor point of the sidereal zodiac of Vedic astrology. The sidereal zodiac is pinned to the position of the star Speaker. Speaker gives success, renown, riches, honours, fame. It's beginning of Libra, so a sweet disposition, a love of art, but also science. But also there's a shadow side to Speaker's star energy, unscrupulousness, unfruitfulness, injustice to the innocent. And its nature is androgynous, but also spiritual and religious, and it has above average psychic awareness. So good fortune for scientists, writers, artists, painters, sculptors and musicians. Now, just to end this video, by the end of October, only 3 planets are still retrograde, plus of course the nodes Rahu and Ketu that are always retrograde. So the 3 retrograde planets are Uranus, which turns direct on the 20th of January 2022 at 16 Vedic Aries, Neptune, which turns direct on the 1st of December this year at 26 Vedic Aquarius, and Chiron, which turns direct on the 21st of December at 14 Vedic Pisces. Incidentally, and very importantly, Rahu, the North Node, retrogrades into Kritika Nakshatra at this time on the 6th of October. And this is a dangerous, warlike, cutting energy containing the deadly stars of the Pleiades, the Weeping Sisters. This is not a good time for peace and stability in the world. And indeed, Ketu at this time is exactly conjunct the ascendant of the President of the United States, Joe Biden. And this can only weaken his position amongst the growing dreadful tension socially. Hence the need to be aware of these energies and to manage our consciousness and manage the detail of our lives. So get in touch with me for a reading on the buy page of my Star Wheel Astrology website. Do see all the wonderful parts of our October Star Wheel and Astrology and Healing newsletter. And that's on the October 2021 page of my Star Wheel Astrology website. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.